So I've had a few questions on where to place your support and resistance. And you guys will know I've put out a few videos on my trading system, support and resistance, supply and demand, that sort of thing. So I'm just going to show you exactly where to place your support and resistance on the charts, and then you can take it from there. Maybe watch the trading system. I'll put the trading system in the video so that you can actually see how to trade the trading system as well. But this never fails. This always works. Support and resistance always works. I've traded with MACDs, I've traded with moving averages, I've traded with volume, I've traded with all of them. And at the end of the day, because the market is simply a 50-50 game, it's really difficult for you to just trade with any one sort of indicator or any sort of lagging indicator. You always tend to be behind the whole scenario, you know, because by the time you get into the trade's always moved on, and you tend to end up falling behind the curve. So let's have a look at how to put your support and resistance in, and then you can have a look at the trading system. Hey, it's Rob Guilty, it's logical trading. Don't forget, guys, trading is risky. If you don't like risk and you don't like losing money, rather don't trade. It's probably better. You know, most people lose money because they don't manage their risk. Stop loss is so important. Please keep in mind, that's why we trade this system, is so we can manage our stop loss. But without further ado, let's have a look at the charts, because you've been waiting for this for I don't know how long now, probably a couple of minutes. Let's get to it. Let's have a look. So if you go to the screen, all right, you can see here that we're on a bar chart. Now, being on a bar chart, fantastic stuff, but to actually get your levels off a bar chart is not that easy, or it is, but it's actually easier to get it off a line chart, right? And it's also, like I always say, you've got to take it to the higher time frame. So let's take it to the higher time frame and start there. So let's say we're trading on the 4 hour. Let's move this back a bit. So what we do is we move it to the day. Now once we're on the day chart, let's just smooth this out a bit so we can see what we're doing. Let's move it to a line chart. Now we've got a line chart. This is the Euro Great British Pound. No worries. Now on this line chart, we can clearly see you need 3 points. Now remember, resistance is at the top, support is at the bottom. Okay? But we don't want hundreds of lines. I see too many people putting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lines in their charts. And you don't want hundreds of lines. You really don't need hundreds of lines in your chart. What are you going to do with them all? They're just going to confuse you. What you do is you take a blocky, not a straight line, because the lines are too fine and too detailed. So we should have a good 3 or 4 points here. That looks pretty good. We can start here. That's great. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So what you can see with the Euro Great British Pound at the moment, at this particular time when I'm making this video, is you can actually clearly see here on the day that she's actually coming into play. If you get a nice green bar coming out of here, she's going to bounce out of support, and it's probably going to go long. So there's a trade coming up here actually, right? Where's it going to go though? Where's the resistance? Take another blocky, look up here, see, you've got all these points, you've got so many points. I mean, you can go crazy with the amount of points you've got there. So there's your resistance, right? So that's a clear resistance zone. Doesn't have to be super 100% to the point accurate, just pretty close. So there you've got a support and resistance. That's how you draw your lines in. So you go to the day chart, just to recap, you go to the day chart, you look for your support, you look for your resistance, you draw it in on a line chart. Once you've drawn those lines in, I mean, you can draw the third one in at the top here if you like, but it's not necessary. When are you going to get there? Wait until it goes through the first resistance and then draw the next resistance line and take the old one out. Okay? You've got 2. That's all you need. You're in between those. If it goes through the support, you'll draw a new support later on. Okay? And that's easily done. You can simply look for the support further back, right? That's no problem. So now what you do is you simply take it back to the candles, and there you have your candles again, and then you go to the time frame that you want to trade on, which in this case is the 4 hour, and make your chart a little bit more readable, and then you can clearly see that you're on the support and you're going up to your resistance. And that's as simple as it gets for drawing in support and resistance lines. That's how you draw them in. So guys, go check out my blog, my secret. 10-15 seconds of your time, nothing more. Visit the secret blog. Free trade on there every day, which I post totally free. Guys, it's not financial advice, just a trading idea. On the blog as well, you'll see on the left, little PDF, free Forex book, my gift to you, asking nothing for it. But enjoy the trade every day. It's always nice to know what everybody else is doing, isn't it? Now that you've seen the secret blog, you know you get a trade every day for free. It's an idea, it's not trading advice, don't forget. It's just for fun, it's just an idea, right? Go and have a check at the trading system, see if the trading system is going to help you and if it's going to work for you. So, if we go onto the chart, before I show you how I got to this, I want to show you effectively where we are a little bit further back, alright? And then I'll show you how we got to this. If you look at this, you can see I've got an area drawn in here. This is a support or a resistance. Can be one either or, support or resistance, okay? Now, you'll see the price went in here. Now, your first initial thought on this probably would have been, we're probably going to go short here. But no, because if you look at this guy, it's got a long upward trend, right? That's an uptrend. That is not a downtrend, guys. That's an uptrend. We're on the 4 hour chart here, by the way. That is an uptrend. So stay with the trend if you can, because what you would have been doing is trading against the trend. In other words, saying, well, it's got too high, I think it'll go down now. It's possible. People do trade that way. We trade that way. But it's better to stay with the trend. So before you take this trade, you want to make sure that the red bar has come out of the area, or if you've got a green bar, right? So let me just remove that arrow. So what actually happened? Move this along, look what happened. What happened was we got a green bar, a confirmed green bar, and not only any green bar, a big green bar. Okay, this is a big green bar. So what we would have done is we would have gone long here, right? And we would have followed it, and at that point, we probably would have had a trailing stop because that would have been the target, and we would have got out of the trade. So I just wanted to give you that idea that you would have been thinking we might be going short here. If you get in too early, that's what it's going to do to you. You wait until it confirms, goes out of the area, gives you a nice big green bar, or even a little one, it's fine, as long as it's confirmed and it's closed. Not an open bar, closed bar. Then you can trade. Now if you follow along, you'll see here you could have taken another long trade, but now we're actually calling another long trade if it comes back down into this area. Okay? So I'm going to remove all of these drawings and show you how we come out at this area so that you can do it as well. All you've got to do is you've got to take the 4 hour and put it on the day chart. This is the DAX, by the way, Germany 40. So now you've got it on the day chart, right? On the day chart, put it on a line chart and have a look at what you got here. It's easier to see the points on the line chart. Then all you got to do, we draw blocks in because straight lines are very, very accurate, and you're expecting a price to bounce off an exact line. I don't know. Give it a block, give it a bit of space, right? So what I normally do is I'll draw it off this area. So I'm just looking at this and thinking, okay, there's 1, 2, 3. You've got to have 3 points. You've got to have 3 touches, right? So those are your 3 touches. That looks like a really good, reasonable support area now. We call it support because it's at the bottom. We call it resistance when it's at the top. Don't draw millions and millions of lines on your chart. I've seen many a trader teaching people to draw like 400 lines and resistance lines and crap all over their chart. You're going to get confused. Keep it simple. Keep it as simple as possible. 2 blockies is the best. 1 at the bottom, 1 at the top. That's always good. You can put a third one in just to like remind yourself of a supply area or something like that, but try and keep it simple, right? Now what you do is you put it back to the candles, because the candles, what the candles do is they tell you there's a bullish momentum or there's a bearish momentum. The tails will tell you that the sellers are getting out or the buyers are getting out because there's a long tail. You know, the undecided ones and all these different little things. And you can also pick up the double tops, the double bottoms, all these nice little things from the candles. So keep an eye on the candles, because one of the big things with the candles as well is, for example, if you look at this, 3 big moves like that, that actually gives you a nice demand area down there. So, you know, if you get 3 big red ones down, that gives you a kind of a supply area. So, you know, you look at it and you think it actually falls into place as well, falls nicely into place here, right? Now what you do is you take it back down to the 4 hour or the 1 hour or whichever time frame you want to trade on. All I say is take your levels from a higher time level because they're more accurate. I particularly like to take the day level because it's very, very accurate in comparison, and then I can trade on the 4 hour or the 1 hour, the 15 minute, the 30 minute, whichever I feel like, okay? So let's have a look at this now. So now you've got this coming down into this support area quite nicely, okay? As we saw earlier, it's already the trade we were looking at earlier. Now what you do is you look at this and you say, well, it needs to come down, at least down into the area, right? Somewhere down here at the 164.50, 164.70 area. We're at 165 now. So your idea is it's going to come into here, and then it's going to turn, go up, and give you a nice big green bar somewhere here, confirming that it's going back up. And the reason I'm looking at a long trade is because if you look at the overall picture, the trend is up, and the trend is your friend. It's going up. This could be considered a rather large flag pattern, and they normally continue on upwards. That said, we could have a double top, and this could be crashing back down. And if in that event it does that, and it's not to say that it won't, then what will happen is this will break through here. It'll break through this level, okay? It'll come back up, and you'll get a red bar confirming down, okay? Believe me, it's not going to be as simple as it just breaks through and goes crashing down. It will always, it'll come through, it'll go back up, and then it'll go down. Okay, that'll be your nice red bar going down. Nothing can predict the future, remember. So while we're looking for a long trade, this trade could also go short. Well, what do you think? It always, always, always could happen, right? I mean, these things are not set in stone. These are things that can happen. We don't know what the future is here. I'm not like other people who teach you and go back on the chart and do a reconstruction of the whole chart, and we know what's going to happen next. We really don't know what's going to happen next year. If we take this long trade when it's ready, we don't know if it's going to succeed. All we can do is pretty much put a trade in when it's ready, put a profit level target at about 170, and we're going to put a stop loss below that low over there. In fact, a little bit into the middle of that big green bar over here. Okay, so that's below this lot, right? That gives you a clear area to work in so that if it pops down. But my kind of way of trading is if this starts messing around down here, I'm out, because my trade has invalidated. I would not take that trade long if it was trading somewhere in this area, okay, because it's gone. So I'll probably get out long before it reaches the stop loss, taking a small loss and waiting for my next trade. But if it goes long, I'll actually add to the trade in these areas because I expect it'll go quite high. And that is as simple as the trading system gets. I'm not going to show you supply and demand today. This is price action trading for beginners, just so that you get an idea of how price action trading works. If you're trading with a different system, let me know in the comments, and if you want any comment on it, I can put a video together on it, and I can show you how to improve or better that system, or how to trade that system correctly if you're trading it wrong. I don't say you should trade your system and do this, but there are a lot of indicators out there that you don't need, that you should probably take off your chart. And I just prefer this because it simplifies everything, and the main reason I trade with this system is because I can manage my risk. That's as important as it gets. I can manage my risk. Now that you've watched my trading system, now you know how to trade the trading system, you know how to put in support and resistance. I do hope that that will help you with your trading, and I do hope that it'll be a success in the long run. So, thanks for watching. Until next time, check out the next video. Cheers. Bye.